Hi everyone, I'm Glenda with SureFit Designs and whimsically known as Glenda the Good Stitch. Well, the Good Stitch is here today to tell you how to perfect your bust fitting dart. And those of you who have worked with the SureFit Designs bodice pattern know that when you get around to drawing your body blueprint, we're going to come up to the bust dart. And for those of you who aren't familiar with SureFit Designs, when you are drawing your bust dart, you have this great Adjust-A-Bust template, which is going to allow you to put in either an A, B, C, D, double D, or E-cup bra shape. And of course, I do have additional directions if you need to go beyond an E for the larger bra cup sizes. Well, this template does give you what's called the dart extension. That's this bit that juts out at the side of your side seam right here, that when you fold it together, it's supposed to line up nice and straight with your side seam so that when you sew the back in place, it all sews together properly. And the message that I want to get across in this particular lesson is that the wider your bra cup size is, and this dart is, the more you are definitely going to need to perfect this dart extension point. And that's what I'd like to show you. Now, in the dress kit, in the instruction book, on page 9, where it talks about drawing your appropriate bust dart, there's a page here, or a section here on this page that talks about perfecting the dart. So, but this is what I want to show you when you do it and how to do it. So let's take a look at this. In this particular sample, I have put in a D-cup dart. So I'll just lay the template in like this, and these little holes right here are indicating the width of that D-cup dart, and you can see I've aimed that dart towards the apex that I've marked on this pattern. Well, I already know that this dart extension needs to be perfected, and the more angular it is or straighter it is, it just depends where that dart is aimed as to what this side seam extension is going to look like. So let's take that away. Now, the first thing that you're going to want to do in order to perfect that side seam is to take the bottom leg of the dart and fold it up to the top leg of the dart. And I need to turn this around in order to maneuver it the way I would be on my table at home. And so what we want to do is take this bottom edge of the dart, and I'm just going to fold along there. I'm going to put a crease, and then I'm going to take that edge and I'm going to line it up with the top stitching line. Well, because we're now taking a one-dimensional form and turning it into a three-dimensional form, it's easiest to do this on the corner of a table. And so I've set up a makeshift corner here, a makeshift table corner. And what you will do is you have to have a 90-degree angle. You have to have that right angle right there. And so I'm going to put the tracing vellum on there, and then I'm just going to shift the pattern so that the top leg of the dart is right on the straight edge of the table, and then I'm going to fold like this, and you can see how it's now taking the vellum and turning it into a three-dimensional form without it all kind of bunching up and crinkling in the middle there. So it looks like that. Now I need to tape it. And the tape that I like to use is this Scotch brand removable tape, because we ultimately need to untape it once it's been folded in this position. So I don't want to rip or tear anything, so I'm just putting down that removable tape like this. I'll put in one more little piece right there. So now I've taken my tracing vellum and I've created this three-dimensional form without it all mushing up too badly in the center. Now what you're going to do is connect. I've got to lay this down. Let's just go like that. There we go. I have to lay it down flat, and I need to connect the waist point and the underarm point. And I have the SureFit Designs Designing Stylus to do this. So we'll just move that away a bit. There's the waist point, there's the underarm point. So you're going to take this, and I'll do it first of all in pencil. It's going to be drawn along like that, and then there's the 5/8 inch seam allowance. Now, I appreciate that you can't see it very well in pencil, so I'm going to do this in a bright green marker. At home, please do all of your pattern work in pencil. It just means that if you make a mistake, you'll be able to erase it pretty darn quickly. But here I want you to be able to see what exactly it is I'm doing. So now I've got that done. Now take your scissors or rotary cutter, and I'm going to, here we go, cut on. That's the seam allowance that I added, and that's where I'm cutting. And then I'll just continue cutting the rest of that vellum away. Let's just pull that away, take that away. And now, because I have removable tape there, I'll just lift the edge and take that. There we go. That is just splitting, which is fine. I need to grab hold of this one. It should just pull right off. And I can't see my point. Get this going with the scissors. There we go. That just lifts right off, and that's the way it should. So now when I unfold this like this, you can see this dart extension that I have here, and that now creates the appropriate cutting line for when you're cutting it on your fabric, so that when you sew your dart together and the fold of the dart is aiming downward, that's going to lay in the appropriate line to create a nice smooth straight side seam. So now we're going to take a look at a couple of samples where one's done correctly and one isn't. And this is the one that has not been done correctly. Let me remove that away so that you can see. If you had not have perfected the dart, this is what would happen to the side seam. It kind of comes up and then does a little dip and an angle. And not only that, that dart extension point has not come far enough out to the side seam. So when I take a look at this from the reverse side, this is what it would look like. And here's your dart extension point. It really needs to line up with that edge of the fabric. So if you haven't perfected your dart, what commonly happens when ladies are sewing this together is they'll take that cut edge and they'll force it to line up with the raw edge or the cut edge of the side seam. And then what happens is that, I'll pin that so you can see, it then pulls. You can see that pull forming right there. And ladies will put their bodice on and they'll send me photographs and say, Glenda, something's funny underneath the bust and it feels weird and it's not fitting properly. And my best guess is that the dart extension point wasn't perfected, because it makes it look like a fitting issue, a fitting error, when in fact it really isn't that at all. It was a drafting issue. And so now let's take a look at what this sample looks like when it's been perfected. And you can see how beautifully straight and flat that now lays. It's still the D-cup dart. You get the correct shaping for the bust line. And when I turn this over, now you can see that that edge, that cut edge, is right on the actual cut edge of the side seam. So it's going to sew in beautifully to the back side seam of the bodice. So that's how to perfect the dart. It's a really simple process. I encourage anybody with a large bra cup size to do this. And I'm saying you might not need to do it if you're a C. It just depends on the angle of the dart. Definitely an A and a B likely aren't going to need to do it. But the D's, double E, and E's, they are going to need to do it. In fact, I just worked with a lady who was a G-cup bra. And when she perfected that side seam, the extension on the dart, her bodice fit her absolutely beautifully. So I encourage you to do that. It's an easy process. And I also invite you to join the SureFit Designs community if you haven't already. You know, it's just 3 easy steps. Number 1, head on over to surefitdesigns.com and sign up for our SureFit Designs newsletter. You only get one about once a month. And after you've confirmed your subscription, you're going to be taken to a gift of a number of different gifts to get you started with SureFit Designs. Number 2, I would invite you to make sure you join my YouTube channel, stay on top of when I add videos, and also like this video. And number 3, we have just formed a Facebook users group. And if you have a Facebook page, that's all you need. I would invite you to join. We have people from all over the world that are interacting with one another and sharing their SureFit Designs experiences. So I know you'll benefit a lot from reading their comments as well as mine that I add to it. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy SureFit Designs.